Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's weird. I'm not sure what it was. But yeah, that was weird. Okay, cool. My bad, man. I couldn't hear anything you were saying. I kept getting feedback in the ear, so I apologize. Can you
Yeah, you
guys hear
good,
us
man. You
now?
good, man. Yeah,
All
we can
right,
hear you
bet.
good.
All right, cool.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you, man? Hey, first off, just introduce you. I know you got your channel up here, so I got mine up here too. Also, y'all just have make sure you hit the like button on my boy Jet Situation YouTube. Also on mine's Kansas Past Talk on YouTube. Share the content on Facebook as well, LinkedIn, Twitter. He's on Twitch. Also on Sideline Sports too. So make sure y'all give us that thumbs up on the stream, man. I appreciate it. What's going? Hey, introduce yourself, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah. So name's Gunny Gumby. You know what I'm saying? I'm the host of the New York Jet Situation Report YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. I'm on it. Man, diehard Jets fan, man. Diehard Jets fan. Been a Jets fan since like '98. Been watching Patriots fans for a long time, man. Have a real good time at my expense as a Jets fan for a very long time. So I apologize I couldn't be on the show. I know we were talking about being on the show before the game kicked off. I would have loved to have been on that show for us to go back and forth in regards to how we felt about our teams. I missed that, but I was not missing an opportunity to chop it up with you post game, bro. Wasn't
Hey
missing it.
man, hey,
But yeah,
it's all
here I
good,
am.
man. It's all good. I reached out to you right after the game. I say, hey, we got to get in here and talk, man. Me personally, I think I gotta give myself a pound of back for coming there because that was a disaster last night for us to come on. So I gotta come here and talk about it. It hurts me. Anytime we lose, it hurts me. Kenny can barely sleep at night, and they gotta go there here and talk about the game. So, but hey, it's y'all time, man. We've been dominating y'all for the longest. It's y'all time, and I'm happy for you, man. It's clearly two teams that are going in two different directions. So
Right.
I mean, I think that's what I'm gonna start off by saying that two teams, two different directions. Jets got Super Bowl, they're a Super Bowl contender. Anytime you bring Aaron Rodgers up in there, and the Patriots, it's a year one to rebuild, it's a teardown. No new head coach, new GM, a lot of stuff. So me personally, I think the game went about how I thought it was going to go. I mean, I didn't think it'd be that bad. I figured we lose because I was like, there's no way we're going up in there. Aaron Rodgers, this is first time playing on that field, 62 of the key leads. It's the Jets home open. Y'all coming off two tough road games. Y'all went
Yeah.
y'all went 1-1. Y'all beat the Titans and lost to San Francisco. Oh, there's no way. Then y'all hadn't beat us at home since 2015, I believe. It's been a while.
That's
So we
correct.
kind of we pretty much dominate the series or whatnot. So we're gonna see y'all again in about a good month. I believe I want to say might be at that game by another month. But first, I mean, what are your opening thoughts on the game? Just a quick recap on the game. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, in all actuality, man. I think you said it perfectly, right? You guys have been feeding it to us for almost 2 decades now. It's been a while, right? Jets fans have been hungry for this opportunity to go ahead and finally get on the right side of it for us to have the better quarterback and come at y'all. We're on a 2 game win streak now against the Patriots, right? Before it was the longest freaking win streak of all time that you guys were putting it to us. So, man, it was well overdue. It was well overdue. And when it came down to this game, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't expecting for the beatdown to be that bad. I was hoping for it. I was praying for it. I was like, if Aaron Rodgers could give Jets fans one thing, just beat the dog crap out of the Patriots. They've been doing it to us for so long. I want to embarrass them on Thursday Night Football. I'm not gonna lie about it. I was hoping for that, but in actuality, your defense has played surprisingly well, man, against the Bengals, against the Seahawks. You're talking about Joe Burrow, who's considered to be freaking a top 3 quarterback in football. Jamar Chase is number 1 or number 2 wide receiver in football. Even with the
Mm.
freaking Seahawks, you got freaking Geno Smith, who was a Pro Bowler last year. DK Metcalf is a dog. I wasn't really expecting you to be freaking 1-1 coming into this game. I thought y'all were going to be 0-2 by the time we showed up to you, and y'all were 1-1, and y'all put up a real good fight against both of those teams. So I think after I sat back and I watched, and I said to myself, man, these guys really are playing hard for Mayo. Like, this defense is really coming to represent for Mayo. They don't got the talent that they used to, but
Right.
somehow, some way, these guys are still showing up in these games. So as much as I was hoping for a beatdown and I was praying for it, I really didn't think it was going to be that. I thought it was going to be a closer game. I had us winning the game. I did by at least a score and a half, right? A field goal and a touchdown. But man, dog, to see what I saw last night brought so much joy to my heart. brought so much joy to Jets fans everywhere.
Hey
Because
man, I saw
again,
your tweets, man. Every time I saw you tweet
bro,
something, I was about to block you right then when I saw you tweet.
listen, I couldn't help it, man. Like this is on the other side for us. Y'all got to sit back and watch Tom Brady do this to us for a very, very long time. To see them come out last night the way they did, man, it's I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah,
Personally, I
I
love it.
know.
I think it set the tone for what we're expecting from this team. It's not just about beating teams that you're better than. It's about dominating teams that you're better than. That's how you supposed. These games are going to get closer and closer as we go ahead and engage and interact with freaking other Super Bowl contenders. The Patriots aren't that, but that was the number ninth ranked defense coming into that game for total defense coming into that game last night, and Aaron Rodgers picked them apart. So again, like you said, the teams are going into different directions right now. You guys are in that rebuild. We've been rebuilding for God knows how long. Trust me, man. There's no telling when it's going to end. Rebuilds could take forever. But at this point, man, the Jets have a roster. They have a roster, man, and Aaron Rodgers looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Like he looks like he turned
Yeah,
back the hands of time, man. It's exciting stuff.
he
Exciting
looked
stuff.
good, man. He actually surprised me because I think the way we defensive coordinator Demarcus Coburn wanted to design the game, we weren't worried about Rodgers gets out of the pocket because if you look at the film, and I watch a lot of the All 22, he wasn't really getting outside the pocket. He didn't want to move like that. So I think we were just trying to rush him and blitz him, but not try to. I mean, we were undisciplined last night. So he went outside the pocket and made like 3 or 4 nice throws last night. So that kind of shocked me. On Garrett Wills, I think he had if I'm not mistaken, 5 catches for like 30-something yards in a touchdown over my number one corner, Chris Gonzalez. Pretty good game. He got the touchdown, but yardage wise didn't do too much. I think the X factor last night, and actually thought this was going to happen. Mike Williams. Mike Williams came on last night. That was the X factor for y'all. So that was good for y'all. Then Alan Lazard, him and Rodgers, they got chemistry going back to Green Bay or whatnot. But I figured, I said this is a Mike Williams game. He's gonna get matched up probably against Jonathan Jones or whatnot, and that's what happened. I think Gonzo did a pretty good job holding his own with Garrett Wills. He did score the touchdown, and I'm surprised. Like I actually think y'all beat us 24-3, but it felt like y'all beat us by more than that. And like you just said, the defense did we got pressure on Rodgers, and then Uche had a sack, and Dietrich Wiles had a sack. But I think other than that, for the most part, then y'all running game, Brees Hall got going. Braylon Allen got going. You got I think Conklin, he got going. So y'all, Aaron Rodgers got the ball to everybody last night. I just feel like that was probably the best thing that happened.
And how many times, man? Like this was an all around team game. Now I did see you guys doing everything y'all can to take Garrett Wilson away. It wasn't just Gonzo. Y'all had a guy over the top too. I kept seeing y'all bracketing him in coverage. I was like, makes sense. Take away our best wide receiver. And y'all did a pretty good job actually in kind of slowing down Brees Hall. I don't think y'all are ready for Braylon Allen because that dude is a physical bowling ball. I think that kind of broke through a little bit in the running game. But what I think impressed me the most was how Aaron Rodgers was able to get the ball to 9 different other receivers. 9 different individuals touched the ball from Rodgers last night. He was efficient with it, man. And if I'm being honest, man, you guys never score if we don't give y'all 100 yards and penalties on that drive. If we didn't just keep kicking ourselves in the teeth in that drive, I don't know if you guys scored that game. I don't know.
Good point.
Go ahead.
Hey, good point, because the way, like, let's address the elephant in the room. The offensive line, that was bad. That was horrible. Offensive line was horrible last night. I mean, we'll get to Drake May in a minute. Listen, Jacoby Brissett, I like Jacoby Brissett, I like how he plays, but nobody, you can put Patrick Mahomes behind the offensive line. Nobody behind the offensive line would have succeeded last night. He had free rushes running to your face. And then we starting 2 rookies. So at 2 rookie, then we had a journeyman at guard, Michael Jordan. Like it was Michael Winyu's a guard. He's not a tackle. We got him playing tackle. So y'all took advantage of that. And y'all blitzed a lot more. Y'all not really a blitzing team. Y'all really play a lot of cover 3 zone-based team. And y'all put y'all corners on. Y'all don't really travel your corners. But I think y'all surprised us last night by throwing some blitzes. And I'm talking about the blitz were coming straight to us or whatnot. So I think in saying all that, like that was probably that would kind of surprise us. And our offensive line was in shambles or whatnot last night. It was in shambles. And I think, let me see, we got a comment. Alan Lazard came on last night. He had a pretty good, I think he had like 3 catches for like 40-something yards, Mike Williams. But I think what y'all doing, all that blitzing, that kind of caught us by surprise last night. And I feel like that was probably the main thing why y'all won. Y'all offensive line, Tyron Smith got beat a couple times. I know Uche gave up a sack. Uche got a sack over Tyron Smith, and we started blitzing Rodgers, and Rodgers was killing it. Every time we blitzed, he'll throw the ball right behind him. So Rodgers looked good last night. Braylon Allen, he's a stud. Y'all got a stud in Braylon Allen. Brees Hall, if he can stay healthy, he's definitely going to be good for y'all in the defense. I want to say McDonald. He's starting to come on for that Jets defense. If I'm not mistaken, quote, I'm not the best with stat. I know a little bit. He might be leading the league in sacks right now through 3 games.
He's
Because
actually
he got
tied
like
for the
two
lead.
last night.
Yeah, he's tied for the lead right now at Aiden Hutchinson at five
Okay,
and a
I
half
know
sacks on the season.
Keon White got 4. Keon White didn't do much last night, but McDonald, now he's not the strongest, but he's more like a speed rusher or whatnot. But man, if Speed gonna get them sacks like that, then keep on doing what you're doing because he looks good right now. He's a first round pick. He didn't do much last year, but he didn't get a lot of playing time either last year.
Yep.
But from what I heard, he had a pretty good count. And now what y'all don't have Reddick and Tremaine Johnson's hurt, so somebody got to step up. And I like what y'all getting from McDonald.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think you nailed it on the head, right? With the blitzing, I think if you ask any Jets fan, we've been watching this team for the last couple of years. Salah's defense doesn't blitz; they just don't, right? They tend to go ahead and do so. I think they had an average of 21% collectively since he's been our head coach when it comes to using the blitz. They were at 33% last night in terms of blitzing to get to the quarterback. I loved it. I personally loved it. I think when you've got, corners that can go ahead and hold their own on the backside of that defense, you can afford to take the chance at sending an extra guy to get to the quarterback. And right now, with us trying to go ahead and get our footing with the loss of Jermaine Johnson, the Hassan Reddick situation is still an unknown. You bring an extra guy in there, it's going to go ahead and keep the freaking offensive line off balance, but it also kind of sets the tone for when we go and play the next game because now what freaking Sean Payton thought he was going to be facing, he has no clue. I love that. He has no clue what to think now. Like, crap, they blitzed a lot this time. Should we be expecting to adjust our game plan? I think keeping coaches guessing on the defensive side of the football is going to do wonders for this freaking defensive scheme. But it just goes to show the coaching aspect of like coaching staff evolving, right? I didn't think it was feasible, and it goes to stem even from the offensive side of the ball. Literally attacking and getting down the field in that first drive was something, again, Jets fans were shocked of. Usually we kind of start off kind of slow, kind of like they're trying to feel out the defense and figure it out. Nah, they came out attacking and swinging. We didn't capitalize with a touchdown, but they got down, into the red zone. Then they freaking got the penalty that got to kick them back out. But the second drive, boom, down the field, they scored the ball, man. Like,
Yeah.
This isn't football that we're used to as Jets fans. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since '98. And we made it to the AFC Championship game back-to-back with Mark Sanchez. But I promise you, dog, we've never seen a quarterback do what Aaron Rodgers did last night. And I don't care who you are. You can go ahead and tell it's the Patriots are rebuilding. The Patriots defense has been balling out since game one. And coming into this week, all I kept hearing was like, hey, you're not running on the Patriots defense. You also be on the Patriots defense. They're going to run on you guys. And I'm like, you know what? I can see it being a problem if we don't figure it out. The Jets figured it out. They adjusted. And I think people are thinking that the Patriots are only going to win like 4 games this year. I don't know. I
think we're going to win a few more games than that.
I think so too. I think the way these guys are playing for Gerard Mayo, and I'm going to say it right now, it wouldn't surprise me if you guys beat a team right now that's kind of banged up in the AFC
Look,
East.
I'm going to get off a little topic. I'm going to get on topic. We got I'm calling it right now. We got San Francisco next week. Everybody's going to look at the game last night and say it's going to be a blowout. I think I'm not going to pick us to win right now because they got a lot of injuries going on over there. I think that game going to be a lot closer than what people think it's going to be next week in San Francisco. And then we got Miami. They don't have Tua. And I don't mind the Jets. I don't like the Dolphins like that. I don't mind the Jets. I don't got a problem with the Jets. But I do want to get this comment right quick from the Rusty Spooner. I don't want to hear other teams with my offensive line excuses. Laugh, I'm gonna say, child, please, y'all don't know offense. Like, hey, listen, hey, first off, Rusty, listen. Look, y'all won the game last night. Y'all won. It's y'all day. It's fine. Y'all won the game last night. I'm just saying, we are a rebuilding team. In our offensive line, we got 2 rookies, a journeyman. Yeah, and y'all had some offensive line issues in the past, but I'm not using it. No, we don't have no excuses. Y'all were supposed to win the game last night. So just Rusty Stone, I appreciate the comment, but just tone it down a little bit because we ain't doing all that. But I appreciate your comment though.
Ken did state that they were going to lose this game. I'll give Ken that. He was real. He was real. He stated like, man, these guys got the talent. They got the offense and the way the defensive line is compared to. He kind of made it known. I think what Rusty was trying to get at though is that we as Jets fans have endured such pain in terms of quarterback play and offensive line play. I don't think we've had a good offensive line since we made it to the AFC Championship game in back-to-back seasons. Ever since those guys, went off and did other things, we haven't gotten the offensive line right. And when we thought we did, injuries devastated us across the offensive line. I think in the last freaking 4 years, the New York Jets averaged almost 3 times more rotations in terms of the
Right.
offensive line. So I get where you're coming from, Rusty. I understand what you mean. And every time we got our butts kicked, we always got told to shut up and color. So I know
Hey,
why he's frustrated.
look.
But
Yeah,
Ken
it's
ain't
y'all
had this.
time,
Ken
man.
was real about his. I'll give Ken
Yeah,
that.
you watched my show. I called. I said
Yeah,
I got
I
the
watched
Jets
it.
win. I just like, yeah. There's no way we're gonna win that game. So hey, I'm not no biased fan. I'm very unbiased. I call it like I see it. We're a rebuilding team. It was a bad product, and please don't put us back on Thursday on prime time no more. We don't need no more prime time game. I keep it honest, man. Like I'm honest. You got some people out here that are not as they're not honest like that. I just call it how I see it.
Yeah, that's why
So
I wanted to chop it up with you. Whenever you reached down to what I'm like, yeah, nah, I looked at a couple of your shows and I was like, all right, I can mess with somebody like that that's real about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to come on here and get hyperbole and like, hey, we got 6 rings. We all know what you guys were, man. We already know what you guys were. But like most
yeah.
Pats fans right now are just saying they're like, oh yeah, that was your Super Bowl. We got 6 wins. All right, cool. That you
See,
guys
with me,
had.
I know where my team. I know. Listen, I'm a realist. So I know where my team is. So that's why I was mad last night, but I won't mad because I didn't have no expectations for the team. That's why. So that's why. So if we would have won, oh yeah, I'd have been talking my crap or whatnot. I would have
Oh
been saying
yeah.
all that, but we lost, and I expected that. I actually thought I knew we was gonna lose in Seattle or lose against Seattle. And I said, if we beat Cincinnati, we'll lose to Seattle. If we lose in Cincinnati, we'll beat Seattle. And I knew I already when the schedule came out in May, I think I already had this game here circled with the Jets. I had it as a loss. I already knew it. So
Yeah, listen, I was expecting this to be 2-1 coming into this week, right, after playing the Patriots. And that's exactly where we're at. The 49ers, to me, man, I know a lot of people are upset or they're saying, like, oh, they didn't show up against the 49ers. You're talking about a team that's been playing together for the last 3 years. They just came off of an a Super Bowl appearance. They're still pissed off. They took it out on the first person that showed up in their house. And I get that. We weren't 100% there. We're still trying to go ahead and gel together. New offensive line, quarterback for the first time playing as a New York Jet. We went into their house. I was hoping we could surprise everybody. You're always going to hope your team can surprise everybody, but I didn't think we were going to win that game, man. And every time somebody says, well, they ran all over you, the Shanahan system has been doing this to teams for 2 generations. This is what they do. Like they run on you and make you look embarrassing. They have guys like Alfred Morris, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, making it to the Pro Bowl in that scheme. That's just what they do. Seeing what these guys doing in terms of settling down and starting to get into their own groove. The Tennessee game to me, that was a gritty one. I
yeah,
didn't think it should have been that close, but it was a gritty one, and I was just like, all right, it's all good. We got the W. And I even said, I was just like, hey man, it was ugly. It was an ugly win. We should have, I think that should have been more of a gap in terms of what we saw when it came to that game. But then you find out that at the time they had the number 1 defense in football, which I had no idea. I was like, what, the Tennessee Titans? Again, 2 game sample size, but they had shown out, you know what I'm saying, in week 1. Not to mention their offensive line is actually a pretty good offensive line. So you start looking at the pieces and you're like, all right, I can see where maybe it got ugly. But this game, I was just like, look,
yeah,
they surprised me the first couple of games, which is why I started to teeter a little bit. Like, are we going to blow them
yeah.
out? I know we're going to win, but can we blow them out? I didn't know. And seeing them actually do what I think they should be doing, like you said, man, we're in 2 different trajectories right now. You're in the rebuild. We're trying to make the Super Bowl. And you saw a team that took care of business. They literally went out there. They did what they were supposed to do. They dominated that game. And then now it's on to the Broncos next.
Bobby Jack, Gunny went, man. Yeah, well, your fans, I'm about to block your fans. I'm just messing. Y'all, they killing me, man. They are killing me. But
listen,
no, hey, I
listen.
love it though. I love it. I appreciate it
Yeah.
though.
They
Hey,
passionate fan base, man. You got to think, dog. For a fan base to be as passionate as we are, to be taking the L's we have over the last several decades,
yeah,
like
y'all.
we've been the butt of jokes for so freaking long. So when Jets fans, and we've been like this. When we were losing, we were like this. We were the ones defending this team, knowing on the inside it hurt because there wasn't much to defend. So yeah, I don't blame these guys, man. Like last night we were doing the stream watching the game.
Yeah.
1,100 individuals watched that game last night with us. It
Mm.
I, I love our fan base because I'm not gonna lie to you. We a tough fan base, man. We've been through it. We've been through it. We
Was
deserve
the
to be
stream
there
on you? The stream
a
was
lot
on
of
your
times.
channel. The
No, it
stream,
was
the
on.
stream.
I do a show with Green Bean Jets fan, another big Jets
Okay.
content creator. So he was streaming it on his channel last night, and I was one of the
Mm.
co-hosts, and we watched that. Man, it was 1,100 something, like at its peak. it was insane. I think it was a new record for him, and he's got a lot of followers. But this is a new record for him from what he saw from last night.
Do y'all go to Denver or do Denver come to y'all?
They coming to us. We've gone to them the
Oh,
last
okay.
2 times, and every time we've gone, it's been a knock on wood, a bit of an injury situation. So this time they
Yeah.
coming to us.
That's gonna be y'all should get by them. Let me see. New England is a new book. Hey, it's y'all day, man. It's y'all day. Hey, I love it. I appreciate it. Hey, but
I mean, I'm not
I
gonna lie to you.
appreciate
I
it.
saw one down here that somebody said the Patriots are the new New York Jets, and I'm like, yeah,
Look,
nah,
I
I
seen
feel
that, but I
that.
didn't see it. I seen it, but I didn't see it. Patriot fans are fair with the fan. They hot on the bed ragged dirty. Oh, Coley. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and
Maybe not you, Ken, but I know several
nah.
Marines who I will call out right now that don't know crap about football, but became Patriots fans during that era of them freaking just dominating.
But look
They
though, if
couldn't
I
even
hopped on,
spell football.
when we started winning, I stayed when we ain't winning. So hey, I'm still here though.
That's fair.
I'm still here. But let's get a little more to the Jets, man. What you feel is the ceiling for this team and Aaron Rodgers? If Aaron, I think that was just a glance of what he can do last
Yep.
night. Now y'all gonna play tougher teams. Y'all got to play Buffalo, Miami. I don't know about Miami right now. Cause Tua, if I'm Tua, I wouldn't play no more. I would go ahead and retire, whatnot. But I think the Dolphins, they've kind of see y'all don't got to worry about the Patriots right now. I think the Dolphins and I think Buffalo, y'all kind of had their number the past couple of seasons too.
We
Y'all,
sure
but
have.
Miami is a team that y'all do struggle with. So
That's correct.
who scares you the most in the AFC East? And y'all can leave a comment too. Is it Miami or Buffalo?
Yeah, I'll be real, man. It's Miami, and I say that because we've played Buffalo and we've beaten Buffalo with Zach Wilson as our quarterback. Something about Josh Allen when it comes to facing our defense, he gets rattled. I think Salah literally kind of built this defense thinking like, all right, these guys are the kings of the AFC East. We've got to be able to go toe to toe with them. The defense is geared to match up well against the Buffalo Bills. And I know they're 2-0 right now, and I'm not going to lie to you. I am surprised
I
and
got them
shocked to
losing
see
Monday. I got
I
the
got them
upset.
losing too.
That's
I
my
got them
upset
losing
of the
this week
week.
too.
Jacksonville over Buffalo. That's my
Yeah,
upset.
and they've been surprising, right? But they're winning in different ways though, which is very impressive. Because I was expecting them to literally depend on Josh Allen to have to carry them all like every game. He did week 1, but then
Yeah,
last week they won the game when he barely showed up for the game. So
they're run the
they're
ball
winning.
in
Yeah,
turnovers.
man, they're winning the games in ways that I wasn't expecting. So I still look at them as like, all right, I don't really think they faced a really tough defense yet, right? I think this weekend they will. I think the Jags defense is better than people are giving them credit for. I think Josh Allen versus Josh Allen is going to be a fun one to see this weekend. But for me, man, it's the Miami Dolphins, and people will sit there and laugh at me, man. But like, listen, they've made life difficult for us the last several years, right? And until we beat them, I'm not going to sit there and pretend like the speed of Tyreek Hill, the speed of freaking Jalen Waddle. I mean, hell, they got freaking a running back core now in freaking a chain.
Yeah,
Right, freaking Mostert.
Mostert.
We haven't even seen him yet. They've got dogs, man. They've got a lot of dogs on that offensive side of the football. Now, I think in terms of the defense, I'm not really stressing the defense too much. I think for us, it's going to be whether or not our defense shows up to match up with their offense. Because I think on offense, we're going to put up points. We got Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers now. I'm not worried about that. We're going to put
yeah.
up points. But I think on the defense to offense battle is going to be what I'm really like concerned about. It might wind up having to be a shootout, and I think they've got some dogs that we got to worry about. Now, for them, not having the offensive line right, I think is a huge benefit for us. I don't understand it, man. You've got a quarterback who, yeah, he can get the ball out of his hands quickly, but he's had some injury history in the
Yeah.
past. You want to protect him and keep him upright. I'll never understand the logic of Greer of not wanting to reinforce his offensive line, but I digress. That's them running their scheme the way they want to run
When
it.
do y'all
But
play? When y'all play Miami?
we don't play them till like freaking at the end of the year. So it's
Yeah,
going to
because we
be
got two. Yeah,
cold, cool.
yeah.
Yep. So
We got two games
it's
with Buffalo later on this year. We got Miami in a couple of weeks. I think we'll get that game with Skylar Thompson, that quarterback.
yeah. I think they're in for a surprise. I think what Tua was able to do, and I'm going to give him respect. I'm going to give him his flowers here, man. I think what Tua was able to do last season kind of showed us like, all right, yeah, he's a systems quarterback, but so is Brock Purdy. And if you're in the right system, you can ball. Like, you can ball now.
Yeah.
Like, and you saw him do it last season. You've seen Brock Purdy do it a couple of seasons,
Yeah.
several seasons now. So I'm not sleeping on the Miami Dolphins, man. Tua will be back by the time we play him, and I think I'm going to be more concerned about that. I feel oddly really good the Bills versus Jets matchup.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being naive right now, but I feel pretty good
Mm-hmm.
about that. But for me, man, I think like you said perfectly, man, we haven't even seen Rodgers at full capacity.
Yeah.
I really think Aaron Rodgers right now gave us about 75 to 80% of what he's going to be in that
Last
game.
night, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
him and Wilson aren't even on the same page still. Like, and Wilson
Yeah.
is by far our best wide receiving weapon for him. First time last night, man, Aaron Rodgers in 20 years got to throw a touchdown to a first round wide receiver. You're going to see a lot
Crazy.
more of that. That's a crazy stat. 20
Crazy.
years in the league, 480 touchdowns thrown. That was the first time he threw a touchdown to a first round wide receiver. Listen, I expect to see Aaron Rodgers by week 6, week 7. We're going to be starting to hear the conversation about, like, man, is this MVP Rodgers? I really believe
Cause what he
as
got?
he
What, 4 touchdowns right now or 5?
he's got 5. He's got 5 touchdowns
5
right
to 1
now.
interception.
One
Okay.
interception, right? I think he's got a 67% completion percentage. He bumped his number up to 170 something right now per game. But again, every single game though, the numbers have gone up every single game. So I'm just like, week 6 by week 7, you know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers doing this to a couple of contenders, so to speak. The conversation is going to shift from like, all right, yeah, they're a playoff team to Rodgers is in
Super Bowl
MVP
team.
form. This could be a Super Bowl caliber roster. So my floor for this team is to win the AFC East. That is my floor. I really think at this point you've got all the components. I do believe we have the best roster in the AFC East.
Yeah.
When it comes to coaching, we're still trying to figure that out. But last night, I saw my coaching staff adapt and create a game plan that had the Patriots freaking in a spin cycle. So
Yeah.
I'm loving what I'm seeing from that, man. But for me, the floor is the AFC East. It's the AFC East. You win that, right? Boom, we're in the playoffs. But I do believe, man, health not being a factor, right? Knock on wood. Health not being a factor. I think this team can compete with any team in the AFC and the NFC.
So if the floor is winning the AFC East, your ceiling would be winning the Super Bowl. I think that's probably
That's
what
facts.
you're thinking.
That's
Okay.
facts. Yep.
Um,
I'm
it,
gonna say it.
What are your areas of concern still, even after last night? Now, I know it's hard to say concerned after you beat a Patriots team that was a top 5 pick a year ago, 24-3. I know it's hard to say like you have any concerns, but I know you still probably got some concerns. Is it probably depth at line, or I mean, what a cornerback? I mean, what are your concerns? I know you got to have some type of concern.
Yeah, no, definitely. So last night we saw Morgan Moses go down. It looks like it's just going to be a bad sprain, so he might be out for a couple of weeks. But this is why I was so adamant about the Jets going freaking left tackle or offensive line in the draft. Right, everybody wanted the sexy pick, but the right pick to me the entire time was Olu Fashanu. Right.
Yep.
And listen, he came in last night and he was the second highest graded freaking offensive lineman on the field last night. So for me, I think in terms of the depth piece, we still got Max Mitchell. He was inactive, and he looked like he took another step in the preseason, so he'll be active, obviously, for the next week. We've got the depth, I think, at tackle, and I think when we brought in McGovern back, that made me so freaking happy because now we got the depth in the interior line. So what I was once concerned about was the offensive line depth in the interior. I'm no longer worried about that. Now, I will say this. Losing JJ, I think, kind of got me on the train because I've been adamant about this whole like the Hassan Reddick. Oh my God, Jets need to have him. Or I've been like, nah, we're good. If Hassan Reddick wants to show up and be a part of this, cool. If not, so be it. Who cares? Like this team was a top 3 defense last year without him. I think he's on the back end of his career anyway. In terms of what I saw from the tape from last season, I don't think Hassan Reddick is elite anymore. He might be good to really good, which is going to help this team. But I wasn't freaking gonna pay him the bag just to go ahead and get him here for a couple of years. But now JJ's down, right? JJ going down kind of shifted the gear a little bit. Yes, Will McDonald is balling out. I think at the way he's going, he's probably going to have 12, 13 sacks by the season's end.
Yeah.
But I still think, like, if you're talking about making this a Super Bowl contending defense, right, you're going to need another threat out there, right? Yeah, you got it on the backside. You got the corners. The linebackers are looking freaking elite right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing. The safeties really stepped up last night as well. So the safeties, I think if you have an opportunity to add somebody like a Hassan Reddick who can only help your defensive line in that rotation to get after the quarterback, you're talking Super Bowl like number 1, number 2 defense in the NFL right now. And I think they stopped the run pretty well last night. If they're going to keep up this rotation, and the
Patriots were the number 4 in rushing right now, so you can't say that was a fluke or it's the Patriots. Patriots were a top rushing team against 2. We went up against Seattle and the Bengals. We put up over 180 yards rushing, so you can't say that was a fluke because we can run the ball.
And I'll tell you this: Jets fans are going to look at me like I'm silly. I think you saw the shift a little bit in the run defense when CJ Mosley unfortunately got hurt against the Titans. We brought in Sherwood, and the linebackers are flying all over the field. And they're causing havoc, and they've been able to go. You saw the running game kind of
Yep.
stall a little bit with the Titans, and then it was non-existent last night. I mean, I love CJ Mosley, man, but again, he's getting up there a little bit, right? He's a
Yeah.
little bit slower than he used to be. He doesn't have that step anymore. High
Mm.
IQ guy. That's a
Mm.
linebacker you want to have in that room. But in terms of what we saw on the field the last game and a half of not having CJ, the rushing attack that diced us up, you know what I'm saying, at the 49ers, and then the first half of that Titans game, kind of gone away. Kind of gone away. Again, week 3 still early. We're going to see again against the we'll know for real. We'll know for real when we go up against the Buffalo Bills. I think with Josh
Yeah.
Allen and Cook, we're going to have to really be concerned about that freaking run, and they got a pretty good offensive line. But right now, I'm worried about the run still. I still am,
Do
man. I ain't going to lie to you.
Yeah. Do you feel this? Now I know this is a Super Bowl bust season. If y'all, let's just say y'all don't win division, and y'all make it to the playoffs, and y'all losing the wild card round, can you see Aaron Rodgers come back next year? Do you think Salah gets fired? Do you think y'all just going to tear it up, or could you see them run it back again? Because me personally, I think if y'all don't win division, listen, let's start like the positive. If y'all win division and y'all get to the divisional round, I think Salah keeps his job. I think Rodgers will come on back next year in the divisional round because y'all haven't been to the playoffs in a while. So I'm not saying just be okay with just making the playoffs. I'm just saying like for y'all haven't. If y'all win division, y'all ain't been in the playoffs so long. For if y'all just make it and get bounced, I think that's a successful season. Me personally, but I know the bar is high. When you bring Aaron Rodgers in, bar is high. You get there, you got to go far. So if Rodgers, let's just say y'all don't win division, and let's just say y'all play the Steelers. I'm just throwing a team out. Y'all play the Steelers in the wild card round. Steelers beat y'all or whatnot, whether it's in Pittsburgh or New York. Is it time to clean house, or do y'all think you bring everybody back?
So if the Jets wind up not winning the AFC East, making it to the playoffs, I think it falls on Aaron Rodgers. If we get bumped in the wild card, right? Personally, I think that's a failure of a season for us. I do. I think the landscape right now is as is, perfectly laid out, so to speak, for the Jets to go ahead and make a deep playoff run.
Yeah,
If we wind up losing in the wild card, I
disappointment.
think disappointment. There's no
Yeah,
other way. The longest playoff drought streak is dead, right? It's over, but you got there, and just to show you didn't belong, to me, doesn't make any sense. I think it depends on Rodgers. I think if Rodgers says, I will come back one more year, but I want freaking Salah here, and I want freaking, the same people in the building, I think Woody will be like, all right, I'll run it back with one more. We'll do a little mini extension, you know what I'm saying, for these guys to go ahead and stick around. I do believe if they win the AFC East, Joe Douglas is getting an extension, and so is Coach Salah.
yeah,
But man, I think it'd be a much nicer extension if they make a deep playoff run. I think those guys
yeah.
see the numbers bump up a little bit, maybe a couple of years added a little bit if they go ahead and do a deep run. I think Aaron Rodgers does come back if we make it to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl, or even if we lose in the AFC Championship game. I think Rodgers is going to want to run it back one more time.
Like I said, I'm not a personal big fan of the Jets, but I do like a lot of y'all players. Malachi Corley, what have you seen so far from him, and when you think is it just a matter of time before he starts get implemented? I think Gibson is ahead of him in the depth chart. I didn't see Malachi a lot. I think I saw him on special teams. Probably he was active last night. So do you think that Malachi McCoy, you think by Thanksgiving, about November, Rodgers going to start to get him the ball, or you think it's probably like a red shirt season, probably going to do much this year, probably next year? Because Rodgers is not really a big fan of throwing to rookie receivers, and that hasn't been his MO since he's been in the league. So you think it's because I like Malachi. I thought he was a good fit for the Patriots. We actually worked him out. So what do you think about what have you seen from Malachi, and do you think he's going to get going?
Love Malachi Corley, man. Yeah, when we got him in the draft, I was shocked. I didn't think he was going to be there. The fact that he dropped to the third to me was a godsend. Love the kid. I love what he brings to the table. His physicality is unquestioned. But like you said, man, Rodgers doesn't like throwing to rookies much, man. He likes working with veterans. He likes working with guys that can go ahead and read the defense as well as he can, right? Kind of understand. And I think Malachi Corley in that aspect is very raw. He still needs to go ahead and fine tune his route running because Rodgers wants you to be at your spot when you're supposed to
Yep.
be there when he's trying to get the ball in your hand. So
Yep.
I think Corley right now is a ways out. Right, we've seen him a couple of times already this season, kind of come out, get a quick little pass, or giving him an opportunity to go ahead and do Yak King things. But it's the NFL, man. There's some big boys in the NFL. So it was fun to do it in college, but it's a different level now. So he might have to go ahead and find a new way to kind of like reinvent himself a little bit. The Yak King may not be his identity anymore because you're not breaking through the tackles you were breaking through at the college level. But the dude is built to me a lot like Steve Smith, man. Steve Smith
Built
Sr.
like a running back.
He is, man. Like he's built like he's like a little muscle hamster, dog. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a spot for him, man. I just think right
Yeah.
now things are clicking with freaking Alan Lazard figuring out how to play football
Yeah.
again. You know, you got Mike Williams in there. Gibson does do some damage in the slot, and then when you got guys like freaking Braylon Allen and Brees Hall that can go ahead and catch the ball out of the backfield. That's a lot of options for Rodgers to go through. I don't think there's any kind of urgency to get Corley out there, but I do believe having him as with the fresh legs going into like the colder months is going to be a benefit when you want to go ahead and get the ball into a guy like him that can go ahead and create space and get going south and north and south. So I like Cordy, man. I just think right now, in terms of what the team needs from their wide receiving core, he's just not there yet. I think he just needs to fine tune some things first before you get him out there with Rodgers because Rodgers ain't gonna have it, bro. He can't go out there and embarrass.
Yeah. Houston said, "Yo, dropping by the social report. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, 21 is a bunch of y'all in here. Hit that like button on my boy. New York Jets Situation Report YouTube. Hit the like button on my YouTube. Make sure you share the content. Give us a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, share the content. Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you're at, share the content and give me that like button on YouTube. I appreciate it. One more thing. Let's see. Houston says muscle hamster. That was a good one. What do you think about Sauce Gardner's play so far? I know he gave up a touchdown. I believe that was on him last week. The Calvin Ridley. Yeah. It was good coverage, but I don't look like Sauce was looking for the ball. What do you think about his play this year? I think I've heard a couple of times. Now he did good Monday night. He shut down Brandon Ayuk. But how you feel about his play? In the Patriots, we know we don't got no wide receivers. But how do you feel that? How you feel about Sauce play right now?
Yeah, Sauce is doing Sauce things, man. Like he's been consistent in terms of eliminating whatever receivers in front of him. The catch that Calvin really had against him for that touchdown. Listen, I don't know how he caught it. I've watched that thing back 2-3 different times now. That was the most miraculous catch or luckiest catch, if you want to call it.
Because the safety was coming over.
The safety, it went through the safety's hands. It was like right past the hip of Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And Ridley caught it. Like it was perfect coverage. It was just a great catch. I don't even know if you want to call it a great throw. It was just a really, really great catch by Calvin Ridley, man. So, hey, kudos to him because that was great. And Sauce was pissed about it, too. So, I love him pissing off my freaking cornerback because you didn't hear much from Calvin Ridley after that particular catch. But now I think Sauce right now, man, is having a slow start to it. I think a lot of people are I'm still a little confused as to what happened in week 1 when he sat out for almost 8 minutes. Apparently he needed to catch his breath. That doesn't make sense to me. I know that he's dealing with a bit of shoulder soreness because of he's always going to make the professional decision, right? and not go for some of these tackles. And he's not really known for being a big tackler. But it looks like, man, right now he's dealing with something with the shoulder a little bit. You saw it again last night when he did the tackle. He stood up and then he kept doing this number.
Probably like a stinger.
I think so, man. I think he's dealing with that right now. But in terms of doing what he does, man, he did great last night.
Very sticky in coverage.
Did great against Ayuk, right? The Calvin Ridley one's really the one where you look at it and you're like, the heck was that? That was a 56-yard throw and catch, which was the largest out of the 92 yards he gave up. 56 of it was on that one play, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, the stat line's the stat line. I think he'll be all right. As this defense continues to go ahead and get into their groove, I think they're going to be okay, especially now they get to actually rest up on the sideline because you got a quarterback that can go ahead and actually give the defense some breathing room. They'll be good, man. Sauce Gardner, I think this is probably the slowest start he's had thus far in the first 2 years. But when he's played at his level, this is why like the bar is here, right? Yeah. Sauce hasn't been bad. He hasn't been trash. But he hasn't been Sauce, right? Like, this is how you know he's elite, man, because the bar is so high. When he had that game against Tennessee, everybody was just like, oh, man, that was on Sauce Gardner. Like, it became a highlight because it was on Sauce Gardner.
Speaking of corners, how you feel about our corner, Christian Gonzalez?
Love him.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate that he's with you guys. When y'all drafted him, I was salty that you guys drafted him, man. I love Gonzalez, man. He's a very rangy corner. He's going to be a top 5 guy in this league for a long time.
Have you
Top 5
seen the
corner in this
gauntlet
league.
of receivers he don't went up against? And we
Yes,
play a lot of man
yes,
coverage. Like the
bro.
guy.
Shut down Jamar Chase. Freaking went up against
Yes.
freaking DK Metcalf. The
Yeah.
kid's a dog, man. When he got hurt last year, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I hate injuries. That's the one thing I'll
Yeah.
never root for any team. I hate injuries.
Yeah.
Seeing him start off the way he did last year and then go down with the injury, man, I was like, damn it, man. This is a
Bro, I
kid.
was at the game when we played the Cowboys, and he was shutting down CD Lamb.
Yep.
Soon as Gonzo got hurt over the head of Miles Bryant, CD
Yep.
Lamb scored that through the CD Lamb. I was right at the game. Crazy.
Yeah, Gonzalez, bro, is going to be in that conversation for a top corner in the league for a long time. He's got the IQ for it. He's got the physicality for it. I hate that he's a Patriot. This is not.
He reminds me of Stephon Gilmore.
That's exactly but I think he's rangier. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think he's got the physicality and the IQ of a Stephon Gilmore, but he's rangier because I think he's more athletic. If I'm being honest, I think he's more athletic than Stephon Gilmore. I hate that you guys got him. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, he's definitely a corner I was a big fan of. When y'all drafted him, I was like, of all the places you could have gone to, now I can't root for you. Now I can't root for you because you're a Patriot.
A couple more things before we get off for the night, man. Let's see. It was an E-Boogie 156. Great game. If the Pat took out percent for May, game would have been a little harder. Gun. I want to ask you about Drake May. What you think about Drake May? I know y'all don't need a quarterback right now, but I'm pretty sure you probably did some work on Drake May.
I did.
How you feel about Drake May and the Patriots' future with May? And when would you play him?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think y'all made a mistake with May. I do. I think Jaden Daniels was the choice. Should have been the choice.
Well, Washington picked ahead of us though.
Did they?
Yeah, Washington went 2. We was 3.
That's right. You guys were 3. All right. So then, I think y'all should have gone. Y'all should have gone either offensive line or a wide receiver, man. Listen, Drake May, man. When I watched this tape, I saw a lot of a kid playing at North Carolina, man. That the competition clearly wasn't there, right? When you saw him putting up highlight plays, I literally watched tape and I thought to myself, oh man, he has a lot of time back there to go ahead and throw the ball.
Yeah.
He's clearly faster than everybody else he's going up against. I saw bigger Zach Wilson in terms of how Zach Wilson in college at BYU made everybody look silly because he was clearly the best player on the field. He had nothing but time. I think Drake May, he holds on to the ball a little longer than you want to see it, man.
He does have a long line.
Long release. Yep, long release.
He's been working on that though.
And he's a little indecisive. The indecisiveness, I think, is going to be a concern. Now, hey, listen, a lot of individuals have been proven wrong before in regards to what they look at, and he could very well might be the next Tom Brady, right? I'm just saying, like, in terms of what I saw out of college, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams either. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a huge bust. I wasn't a big fan of him.
Hey, you think we got a bad offensive line? Look at the Bears' offensive line.
Exactly, right? Like, they're in shambles.
That's why you don't play them. I do not want. I do want to watch a watchable product because I can't take too much longer Jacoby Brissett. I really can't. I can't take much more Jacoby Brissett. But
Jacoby Brissett
at the expense as my future quarterback, I love Drake, man. I met him at the I went to the combine. I met him at the real laid back guy. You can't throw him out there like that. That line, the offensive line is not good. I don't want to run it. And then people say you can learn. Yeah, you can learn a lot from playing, but come on, man.
But let's be honest. I think Drake May needs the time. I think if you're going to expose him, he needs the time to go ahead and see how fast this game is. Right, he needs to be able to go ahead and, like you said before, working on that release. It's got to get quicker than that because by the time you're in the NFL, those windows they close fast, right?
Yeah,
I think if you start putting him out there too early, man, if he does have the ability to elevate his talents to be an NFL Pro Bowler or All Pro kind of quarterback, you kill that. Like you see it all the time in the league, man, where you put them out there too soon and then they break down. People will sit there and say like we broke Zach Wilson. I don't know. I don't think Zach Wilson ever really had it, right? Like
what about Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold, though, I was very disappointed we let him go. I'll be the first to admit I did not want to go ahead and let Sam go. But now he's playing pretty well. But I will say this: I've seen Sam Darnold do the exact same thing he's doing right now for the Jets and for the freaking Panthers before the wheels fell off. So
too good to be true.
I want to see it for a few more games before I start thinking like, all right, Sammy's him. But Geno Smith's another guy, right, that we had and we wound up letting go.
Geno's lighting it up right now. He's lighting it up, bro. I love the wide receivers. I wanted Jackson Smith and Jigba. I wanted the Patriots to get them. Man, they got some receivers there, boy.
They do. They got weapons.
They still playing sleeping on Seattle. They sleeping on Seattle.
Shouldn't. And you know what? Though, I think this weekend against the Miami Dolphins, people will start paying more attention. I think the Dolphins are going to struggle against them because defensively and offensively, I just don't think the Dolphins match up very well. So Okay, so my bad. I just saw the time. I got a message. My
Oh, you
bad.
good? Yeah, we good. We about to wrap it up.
Yeah. So I again for Drake May, I wouldn't have gone that route. I just think that when you're looking at rebuilding your like you guys are in the rebuild right now, if you're gonna go that route with quarterback with somebody who I think is going to need some work at the next level, you need to put stuff around him first, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
at this point I would have gone in the trench. Joe Alt, I would have gone Joe Alt, gone in the trenches there.
Marvin
Maybe you bring in a
Harrison.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Like,
Yep.
because you're gonna want to put weapons around that guy. So I think that y'all weren't ready for the quarterback yet as you go into this rebuild. If you were going to go Jacoby Brissett, put another weapon that he can throw the ball
Right.
to, have
Right.
at least make the product more watchable. I think Jacoby Brissett is an incredible backup quarterback. I think he's an elite backup
Surprisingly,
quarterback.
he ain't turned the ball over yet.
He's one crazy stat.
But he don't. Yeah,
Jacoby
him and
Brissett and
Rogers are
Aaron
tied. Yeah,
Rodgers
him and
are
Rogers.
tied
Yep.
1.4% interception rate. I
Yeah,
was just
that's
like,
good.
ain't that I did not. But Brissett
Yeah.
is what he is, though. He's a backup, man. A top
Yeah.
tier backup, yes, but he's a backup. But I think if they were going to go that route or knew they were going to go that route, then I think you should have gone with the can't miss options of the Joe Alts, right? Of the Marvin Harrisons, because now you need to start building that roster. So maybe 2 years from now, you go and get Archie
Well,
Manning. Maybe if you guys are still
we got a lot of. So I think what they were thinking is we
next year
get the
too.
quarterback
Yeah.
this year. Next year we got 10 draft picks, and then we got a lot of cap space. So maybe we can do something. But hey, it's a lot of it. Hey, it's neither here nor there. It's above my pay
Yeah.
grade right now.
Yeah.
But hey, last but not least, before I get you off, what is the final? What's gonna be your record for the end of the year? And when would the season end? Will it be in the Super Bowl, divisional round? Will y'all make the playoffs? What's your final record prediction for the Jets?
Final record position for the Jets, if health is not an issue, from what I saw last night from Aaron Rodgers, and again, I don't believe he's even showing us his full capacity. I had the Jets going 12-5 by the season's end, but last night's game, I'm gonna push that to 13. I'm gonna push it to 13-4. That is going to be enough to go ahead not only win the AFC East, but be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, in terms of where we're gonna go, I think we're gonna be in the Super Bowl, man. I really do. I'm really starting to feel myself a little bit. I got the Jets versus the Lions in the Super Bowl, man. 13-4, and God willing, man, we're hosting the Lombardi Trophy by season's end.
So, in saying all that, week 8, that mean y'all gonna sweep the Patriots this year, baby. Y'all gonna beat us at our house too.
That's the goal, and I'm sorry to say I think that's gonna happen.
Hey, we shall see.
I'm not sorry to say it.
Hey, we shall see. We gonna connect again. Hey, man, it was a pleasure to have you on, bro. I appreciate you adding your channel, bringing your fans, even though some of them were disrespectful to me and all that. Hey, but y'all good,
bro.
man.
Passionate.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, y'all enjoy this time right now. It's y'all time. It's the Jets time and whatnot. I appreciate it, man. And man, we definitely catch up. And good luck to y'all. Y'all got Denver next week, so good luck to y'all next week. And hey, make sure y'all go follow my boy, like his content on YouTube. Also, for me, give me the thumbs up on YouTube and all that. Share my content on Facebook. I appreciate it. And we're going to catch up again, bro. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.